and blood drips down onto his nose. Holy Good evening, everyone. Tonight we're going to be imagining a world where someone is a little toothache. Imagine that. Seriously though, y'all are hilarious for mass recommending this one to me. So funny. For those of you not in the loop, I've been having some dental problems lately, but fear not, all hope is not lost. Except perhaps for the poor little ponies and the infection AU we're going to be covering tonight. My Little Toothache is a comic created by Unicornic on TikTok. And let's be honest, the main food groups in the show are apples, cupcakes, and on occasion, random dessert foods. I'd be surprised if every character didn't have numerous toothaches all of the time. I've gotta say, I'm really glad that this AU still exists, and for context on why I'm saying that, I had quite a few on my list, and I'm always looking for more, but I specifically was seeking like 3 or 4 different ones, only to realize that the creators had respectively not only discontinued the series, but had scrubbed them from the internet entirely. I also saw various reasons being given, most commonly just not wanting to be associated with My Little Pony as a fandom, which is a little strange to me because first off, the community that I've found has been super supportive and kind and lovers of horror, aka my people. Also, my personal process was just to make more things without deleting the other things. But all that being said, I respect the unnamed artists' decisions and wish them the best in their future creative endeavors. Anywho, thank you for joining me. You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, on all the different places. There's a link tree down below in the description. Let's get into My Little Toothache. My Little Pony Infection AU. My take. Smiley face. Look at that big old smile. I wonder if there's a toothache in there. Alright, so we have a typical slideshow showcasing the characters and giving us context. We start off with a really cool Princess Luna design with a lot of like angular shapes. Like the wings kind of look like bat or dragon wings. The body is more pointy. The hooves kind of splay out. The face is more like square and angular. And then obviously the spear, which is kind of cool. The Spear of Longinus. The current ruler, temporary, leads the largest safehold in Equestria within Canterlot Castle. Why the current ruler? Did Celestia die? Tells citizens and Twilight that Celestia went missing when really she's keeping infected Celestia locked in the castle dungeons. I was right. Look at me. I'm a real theorist. Ha! That's the same joke multiple videos in a row. Suck on that. Feels like she had to help her sister, just like she'd helped her. Equestria is permanently in night. Eye bags because she's stressing. Scars across her face where Celestia attacked her. Those are not bites. Now wears armor to protect herself. And there's Princess Twilight, who seems to be not doing very well. Has scars and eye bags, blood from infected, often on hooves, weapon for self-defense. I love how Luna has the Spear of Longinus, and then Twilight has a little tiny baby blunt pocket knife. Runs a safehold in Ponyville. Initially allowed anyone not visibly infected in, but after one broke in, she rarely allows anyone new in. Focuses on protecting who she can instead. Scavenges and defends by day, researches a cure by night, doesn't really sleep. Keeps writing to Luna but rarely gets an answer. Eventually gives up and decides they're on their own now. Stressed and grumpy, stubborn, and very paranoid. If you show signs of infection, she will not hesitate to take action and stab you. But I imagine the little knife going like, you know those fake knives where you like, you know those toy knives where you push it and then it goes into the handle so that it looks like it's stabbing you? That's what I imagine Twilight going and it doing absolutely nothing. All bark, no bite. All neigh, no horsepower. Ha! Almost entirely lost faith in the magic of friendship, damn. And here is Rainbow Dash, also sporting a cool little knife. In the Ponyville safehold, emotionally shut down after the outbreak, doesn't speak much. However, she's still fiercely loyal, wants to protect each of the main 6, and is particularly vigilant about finding Fluttershy, who is apparently also missing. Woe is to the world. Practically glued to Twilight's side, tends to go along with her plans, considered her lackey, or her goon. I'm done. Remember when goon had a different meaning? That was the meaning. It meant an evil little henchman gremlin person. Back in my day, I'm just kidding, goon has also been a silly word for a long time. I remember Aaron on the Game Grumps mentioning it like years and years ago before it became like a meme word and stuff. Scavenges and defends for the safehold, lots of scars, usually has blood on her hooves just like Twilight. Tries to get Twilight to sleep, fails most of the time. And here we have Rarity, who is unfortunately in infected. Damn. Early stage 1. In Ponyville stronghold with her sister, bit when returning to her boutique for supplies, now stays inside at all times, hiding the bite from Twilight. She knows it's wrong, but with how paranoid Twilight has become, she's afraid to reveal it. Only one that knows right now is Applejack, who is determined to protect her. At this stage, still savable, but would need amputation before it spreads. Twilight wouldn't really kill a best friend, would she? Ha ha ha. Go watch my last video, guys, to see if that's the case. The area around the bite is becoming more saturated and is glowing. And then here is Applejack, who has Apple Bloom's bow around her leg, keeps a bag of medical supplies on hand, has muddy hooves. In Ponyville Safehold as well, offered up Sweet Apple Acres barn as the location. Responsible for keeping a food supply going, what little crops she can. Lost Apple Bloom, Big Mac, and Granny Smith. That fucking sucks. Hates the way Twilight is running things, believes they should let in any pony not visibly infected, beginning to grow resentful of her in general. While working the fields, she tries to help any survivors she finds, even if she can't bring them back to the shelter. After losing her whole family, determined to keep Rarity secret so she doesn't lose her too. All traces of honesty are now gone. She needs to lie to survive. I find it interesting that Applejack seems to be the one that most consistently ends up being characterized as now needing to break the element of harmony that they represented. Almost none of the other characters have, at least commonly in AUs, had this sort of character shift where like their defining feature. I don't know if y'all can hear those birds. We have a window open and these birds are loud as hell. It's interesting, but it also makes a lot of sense. You know, obviously a character will need to lie in times of dire stress. However, if you are the element of honesty, and this is shown in the show multiple times, if you're super honest when it's safe and easy to be honest, cool. Anyone could do that. The fact that you break that honesty when it's difficult, that's when it actually like really counts, to have that principled stance, right? Anyways, what do I know? Then here's Pinkie Pie, who needs to be eating more. Left Ponyville stronghold after Twilight became too paranoid, is now roaming Ponyville in the Everfree Forest, looking for Fluttershy. Pinkie's sense keeps her generally well protected from the infected. However, without permanent shelter or food supply, she is in danger of starvation, looking for a new group of survivors. And there's Celestia. Dude, the art is so pretty. I love the glow effect, the one eyeball being like staring at you, the rainbow mucus. I like how it's very skeletal. I like the extremely skeletal design with like the entrails kind of hanging out of the gut. That's so cool. What the hell? One half always in shadows, other appears rotting. Pink blood and cotton candy, oversaturated colors, strawberry laced guts. Patient 0, prevented from entering final stage decay due to high amount of magic in body. Was found by Luna pretty early, but not before biting a few ponies. Luna keeps her locked up in the castle, determined to bring her back. Beyond saving, but shows some behaviors that Luna interprets as her sister still being in there. Appears perfectly split down the middle. And there's Discord, my man. Just question, status unknown. Fluttershy also not currently known, and we are unable to use the elements of harmony without her. Alright, now that that's set up, let's take a look at the actual stages of the infection, starting with Stage 1, healthy. Sorry, I can't read. Stage 0, healthy. Was in the Ponyville Safehold. Seems pretty normal. Again, that pretty angular horse design. Looks honestly more like a horse than the characters in the show do. Then we have first infection. We see the bite mark. We see some frothing blood at the corners of the mouth. Left Ponyville Safehold at this stage. The first infection stage, the coat becomes more saturated, radiating out from the initial infection site. Eyes become bloodshot, hair and fur begins falling out. There's dramatic weight loss, fever, chills, and paranoia. I'm having cold visions. Paranoia, cold. Rainbow mucus beginning to collect in mouth. Still entirely conscious, although possibly delirious from stress/fever. This stage can last anywhere from just a few hours to 2 to 3 days. If caught early enough, the victim can still be saved if the afflicted area is removed or amputated. I guess that's where Rarity is. Then this is stage 2, first rot. I'm kind of just now realizing that this is Lyra. This is horrible. Who put doomed Yuri into my infection, you guys? Oh, right. First rot. Coat begins to brighten, begins giving off a faint faint glow. Skin begins melting away, starting with where the infected was first bitten. Eyeball often becomes dislodged or falls out at this stage. The jaw dislocates. Cotton candy beginning to form from open wounds. Shadows beginning to take over parts of the body. Rainbow mucus workens. Blood remains pink. Wings and horns, typically still intact at this stage, can still use magic and fly as normal. At this stage, the pony is still semi-conscious. However, their animalistic sides are beginning to take over. Arguably the most dangerous at this stage, as they are very flighty and aggressive as they try and fight off the infection. And unfortunately, at this point, they can no longer be saved. Stage 3, Advanced Rot. Safety notice: do not eat any part of any infected. Consequences are currently unknown. The body becomes split down the middle, with one side completely in shadows. Previous symptoms continue to worsen. Most skin is gone at this point. Bones are more brittle and dusty, like powdered sugar or chalk. Internal organs begin hanging out, but they appear to be strawberry laces, almost like strawberry licorice. Completely dead, no longer conscious. As such, they tend to be less aggressive. The only instinct left being hunger, nothing seems to satiate them. Wouldn't that make them more aggressive? And stage 4, Decay. The final stage. Body parts begin to fall off and disintegrate until all that's left is a pile of cotton candy mush, begins to lose the glow, and is still contagious at this stage. Do not approach. Alright, so a lot of the elements of the infection here are being described as cotton candy or strawberry laces. You know, we're describing it. The bones are brittle like powdered sugar, chalk, aka Smarties, one of the best candies. And I can't help but wonder if this infection, since the infection I use literally called my little toothache, if it was spread through overconsumption of candy leading to a cavity that was infected. Fantastic. And then in the final slide, we see Bon Bon, who is alone. And you know what, creator, Unicornic Arts, that was unnecessary, okay? It's currently 7 a.m. I haven't slept yet. This was unnecessary. I don't need to be sad right now. I'm already sad. In case you guys are wondering, I'm trying to record this video relatively quickly because I am going to get more work done to my teeth today. And again, I'm going to be out of commission. It's like being like, going back to the torture chamber again. Let's do this every week now. Yes, another lot of money. Great, fantastic. Sorry, I'm glad to be getting it taken care of. It is good that I'm getting it taken care of. However, I have an appointment really early in the morning and I wasn't able to sleep, so I thought I would try to cram in a video before I'm unable to talk, and I'm running out of time, which is why I'm going a little faster, speedier than I usually do. All right, trigger warning for gore and unsettling imagery. This is my little toothache. This slideshow kind of goes into life in the safehold. Due to stress and lack of sleep, Twilight's magic sometimes fails or comes out in short, shaky splutters. She keeps a knife on her at all times so she's not left defenseless when this happens. And here's Spike. Honestly, the design that's closest to the canon of the show. Still cool though. I like it. At the start of the outbreak, Twilight tried to send him to the Dragonlands for his own safety, but he refused. He stayed in Ponyville Safehold working as Twilight's lab assistant. However, when Twilight suddenly became more paranoid, he lost that role. Twilight won't let him leave, won't let him near her lab or specimens, and she makes sure someone has eyes on him at all times. Twilight's paranoia started to rub off on him. Very anxious with how much Twilight emphasizes that he's not allowed out, he has become a bit of a recluse. I feel bad for him. Oh, Jesus. Infected do not hold up well in the rain, as the water causes their flesh and bones to dissolve and advances the stages of decay. Oh, God. The art is so cool. I really like the glow effect that the infected have. The safest time to leave the safehold is during or just after the rain. Applejack grows her crops within a greenhouse tent. Think of the greenhouses in Iceland, controlled environments with lights installed inside powered by a magical generator. Is Iceland known for having special greenhouses, or could we just think of the greenhouses from any other place also? I've never heard of special Iceland greenhouses. That's so interesting. There's a crop greenhouse, guards at the entrance, lab tent, medical tent, and constant Pegasi patrols. Honestly, they've got a pretty good setup going here. I like the little map. Finding safe cleaning water is especially hard for the safehold. While as much as possible is scavenged from the remains of the town, after some time these resources stop providing anything. Currently the safehold is surviving off of collected water from the stream outside of Fluttershy's cottage. Any pony sent on trips to collect water must be trained in self-defense. And there's Dr. Hooves in Ponyville's safehold. Skilled engineer used his abilities to set up the crop greenhouse with Applejack, helping Twilight research a cure, and hopes Derpy is safe/alive. And there's Redheart. In the Ponyville safehold, bit by a patient while treating them and had to amputate the leg. Prosthetic was built by Dr. Hooves. Surly and grumpy, not the caring and patient nurse most ponies would like, but she does her job well. Trained several ponies in basic medical training so they could help her. And there's Trixie, looking awfully mischievous. I wonder if you're gonna let a mosquito in, Trixie. Let's all point and laugh. Ha! Trixie, you fool! Came to the safehold late due to being on tour when the outbreak began. Given medical training by Redheart, Mrs. Starlight, but trying not to show it. This next slideshow is just kind of art, and the description of the video says, "Never let me do a proper background again. Big Mac was one of the first ponies to bring the infection to Ponyville after a business trip to Canterlot. He started to turn when back on the farm, biting Apple Bloom and making an attempt on Applejack, who managed to escape, but Granny Smith, well, we all know how that went. Having now witnessed the loss of her entire family in one go, Applejack is more determined than ever to protect who she has left. She will save Rarity, no matter what it takes." And then we get this crazy art of Applejack witnessing her family get turned and eaten alive. That's crazy. The crazed skeletal zombie shadow ponies with their entrails flying all over the place, standing over the corpse of those who Applejack once loved. Now we're going to find out a little bit about Trixie and Starlight. Trixie and Starlight showed up to the safehold several months ago, when Twilight was still accepting newcomers. They had been on one of Trixie's tours when the outbreak began. Once in the safehold and recovered from their journey, the two appeared to be in high spirits. Starlight was anxious, but Trixie's lighthearted attitude helped to calm her nerves. Trixie trained in medicine with Redheart, while Starlight went out on patrols and occasionally helped Twilight with her research. Starlight's gonna get God, isn't she? But then, Starlight was gone. Twilight told everyone that Starlight had been bitten while on an early patrol and had turned within minutes and was consequently cast out. Twilight then made the decision to no longer allow in newcomers. Trixie had never had high opinions of Twilight to begin with, but now they were even lower. She resented her for not doing more to protect Starlight and for not even letting her say goodbye before casting her out. And Twilight doesn't blame her. Something I'm noticing is that the blood on Twilight's cheek here in this frame looks more like normal blood, where the blood that was on her hooves that was infected blood was like pink and like glowing a little. At the start of the outbreak, spirits were high, although Twilight and Applejack were particularly nervous. But they had faced many world-ending disasters before, and Fluttershy was sure to show up any day now. Uh-oh. Shit. But after losing so many loved ones, that hope disappeared, and we see Dash. Dash, are you there? Oh, that's horrifying. The leg being broken sucks, too. Rainbow Dash shut down after this. The group was becoming more and more divided, and Dash seemed to care less and less. It seemed as though she didn't care about anything. Almost anything. Interesting. And then a lot of people in the comments are implying that this is Twilight and Rainbow Dash being together, which is kind of cool. There've been a lot of relationships in this one so far. Lots of ways for our hearts to get ripped out of our chests and held beating before us before they stab it with the spear of Longinus. The next section is a video, and we're just going to watch that. Trigger warning: blood. Okay. She's trying to patch her up, heal her. Twilight? She slowly turns. What on earth? And then she runs crying away. And the spirit stops beside her once again. And she just keeps flashing back to this memory of blood going everywhere and her little knife, that stupid knife from before. Okay, I think, if I'm understanding that correctly, that she's getting flashbacks and the spirit of Starlight, who she killed, is haunting her. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. The next one is another video, so we're gonna watch that with the trigger warning for gore and disturbing imagery. There's Pinkie Pie walking through the forest. Pinkie Pie, starving, dying, walking through the forest. Oh no, she sees the corpse of one of the infected and it looks like cotton candy, so of course she's going to eat it. No! Pinky, no! Why? I understand why. That's horrible. One small sound, one small sight, one unsheathed knife must glint in an alternate timeline's light. One rust-ridden blade juts out of a friendly, moonstruck shape. Uh-oh. And she looks up to see the moon overhead. So there's a lot of guilt. I wonder if there's a reason for her paranoia, though. Like, obviously she's paranoid about the infection, but why did she kill Starlight? I guess that was the breaking point, right? Seeing Starlight get infected and then just snapping and killing her, as opposed to having to watch her friend transform into one of the infected over time and just be in horrible, constant suffering. Dear Princess Twilight, I hope you're doing well. It's been a few months since we spoke, but I'm sure Princesshood has you busy. Hopefully not too busy, though. I'm excited for our visit soon. Everyone has been asking about you, and I can't wait to hear about your exciting adventures in Equestria. We're due for a good catch-up session. All the best, your faithful student, Sunset Shimmer. Dear Princess Twilight, hey, sorry to bother you. I know how busy you must be. I just thought you might need to know about some technical difficulties on our end. The portal is closed. I tried to come through for our visit, which I hope is still on, and when I tried, it was gone. Our magic seems to work, although we've tried several ways of reopening the portal with it to no luck. Maybe a wire is tripped on your end? One of those magical wires. Either way, let me know, and don't work too hard. Your faithful student, Sunset Shimmer. Dear Princess, I'm not sure what's going on over there, but given the portal is still closed, I'm going to assume it isn't just a tripped wire. I'm sure you're off dealing with whatever it is and can handle it yourself, but don't hesitate to reach out if you need help. Things are, ellipses, slow, comma, here, comma, so I'm more than happy to help you. I need a little adventure right now. Wow, Sunset, way to make it about yourself. You need a little adventure. Meanwhile, Pinkie Pie's eating the corpse of your friends. But like I said, you've probably got this. Haha, all the best, Sunset Shimmer. Unfortunately, I also will sign off texts with haha. It's no better or worse than LOL or LMAO. Sue me. Twilight, where are you? Are you alive? I need to know what's happening in Equestria, please, or just to know that you're alive. Sunset. And then it looks like Twilight responds. Sunset Shimmer, the portal is open, please come. Twilight. And then we're looking at, I guess, a portal. It looks kind of like a mirror, which glows and shines to life, vibrating, crackling with vibrant energy as Sunset Shimmer slowly steps out with absolutely luscious locks. That's crazy. Look at that. Look at that head of hair. I realize it's a horse, but wants to know what's going on, a little excited, wants an adventure. And then the final slide is, I know the voices aren't real, but man, they come up with some great ideas. Twilight, I got your message. I'm here to help. Confused, he looks around. Help? Something's off. The room is dark, cracked, books strewn across the floor. What on earth happened here? There are skulls on the floor, skulls of ponies. Twilight? Spike? Anyone? Sunset says, pacing down the hall. Where is everyone? He steps outside into eternal night. Shouldn't it be daytime right now? Uh-oh. Something's glowing in the background behind him. Is that Twilight, do you think? He turns. And blood drips down onto his nose from above him, maybe? He looks up. Holy shit. It came up behind him, and the shadow side is facing us, and there's the rainbow blood dripping onto his nose, and he stares up in this abject terror. I don't know if that's Twilight. I think it might be. For right now, I'm just going to assume that it is, and then when I figure out if it isn't, then we'll change it. But it looks like Twilight, or infected Twilight, hovers above him. That mouth is so disturbing. Whatever that smile is, maybe that'll end up being in the thumbnail for the video, but that is ridiculous. And he uses magic against it, it looks like. Maybe trying to stab it with his horn, and then he rises up above it somehow, which is kind of crazy because of how freaking tall the thing was. And he bashes down with his hooves. Nope, I misunderstood what was happening. Sorry, they are both the same color. I was noticing that one... Okay, there's a million different people on screen. My bad. Let me go back a little bit. Sometimes people have commented, it seems like you don't understand the comics sometimes, and I apologize. It is true. I have a hard time reading comics. I've always had a hard time reading comics and manga. I'm way more words and then creating visuals in my head with the words as opposed to seeing visuals. Like I can watch movies just fine, but seeing like frames and trying to connect them without having text telling me what's happening is frequently kind of difficult, especially when we've redesigned characters or they're like not fully rendered, which is fine. That's just, most people can do that just fine, especially artists. Most artists or people who consume a lot of this type of art are totally cool with that. It's a me problem. But what just happened here in actuality is in this frame, there are in fact 3 people, not just 2, and it's Applejack coming to the rescue, knocking the infected off, who, judging from what happens next, I'm going to assume isn't Twilight, but is just some random infected, because Applejack kind of raises up her hooves and smashes them down into the infected, destroying it. I would assume destroying it. Blood gets everywhere. And Sunset's just like, Applejack? Sunset Shimmer? And then the artist talks about their commissions being open, but that was back in 2024. As always, though, links to the artist's stuff is going to be down below in the description. You got to support the artists. You got to do it. If you watch my videos, it's a rite of passage. You need to go and follow and go support. If they've got a Patreon, go, if you want to tip them or give them money or whatever, just help them out. Commission them, Here we can see Rainbow Dash and Twilight kind of curled up together. They're both emaciated and just kind of skin and bones, probably from lack of food. They've got a bunch of papers around them trying to figure out how to create a cure and also asking Luna for help, probably to no avail. And the Twi-Dash Apocalypse fic is kind of going hard right now. I like this a lot. And they're like crying and they're just holding each other. Very sad stuff. Happy first birthday, my little toothache. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. Sunset's looking around and I think it might be possible that Pinky is following them. Is it cold out, shrouded by the light of the moon, slowly walking around, eyeballs staring at the back of the head. Sunset turns. And then, is that it? It looks like there's one more video. I should be playing it on screen right now, but it's just got like an audio behind it, and it's a fight with an infected. Twilight just kind of crashing out, which is fun. The comments are saying it's a Princess Bubblegum sound. As someone who first of all hasn't seen that show, and second doesn't have headphones in, so can't hear what's going on. I'm just gonna take their word for it. And unfortunately, that is all of my little toothache. Let me go check though to see if there's something else on Instagram. Sadly, I do not see anything else on the Instagram page. I mean, there is a portfolio, which is pretty cool. I like that. You can contact and probably commission the artist, and yeah, you should go follow them. Who knows? I was noticing that as the AU went on, a lot of the videos were getting less and less views. So it's possible that if you go, go to the link in the description, go to their page and watch the videos and like them and comment on them and engage with them, that they might bring it back. Don't expect that to happen, but I'm just saying, it can be very disheartening to any creative person to see, to have sort of this look of the trajectory of the interest in their work just waning over time, which often will lead them to try something different to see if we can, resonate with more people. I don't know that that's what happened. I'm just saying that I've seen that trajectory with multiple other infection AUs as well, and sometimes the creators will cite that as a reason why they'll discontinue or kind of just take really, really long hiatuses from their series. I wish there'd been a little bit more of a conclusion, but I mean, I really just like looking at the art. The stories are always really fun. Some of my favorite ones have really intense and well-written stories, but this one, the art was really cool. Character designs were very cool. I liked all the ship angst stuff. That's fun. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this video unfortunately had to be slightly rushed just because I need to go. But thank you all so much for joining me. As always, come find me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Blue Sky, other places. I've got a link tree in the description with a whole bunch of links. You should follow me because I'm funny, I have great music taste, and I will kill you or your firstborn if you do not. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next transmission. And before I go, I would like to thank three new people for becoming enablers over on Patreon. So welcome Emerson Smith, Obis Cure, and Cassie the Cat. You guys are awesome. I just want to really quickly just come on here and say it is probably because of Patreon, partially, that I'm even able to almost afford the dental care so I don't die from an infected tooth and whatnot. So thank you guys. You know, it sucks that I have to rely on stuff like that, but maybe you guys want to know that your contributions are genuinely super helpful and very appreciated. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who watches the videos as well, not only patrons. But yeah, really appreciate you guys. I love you. I'll see you in the next transmission. And thank you to Rudoodle, Nervous, Cupid, Delphi, Joe, Bug, Linty, Paper, Gun, Kyojin, AJ, Dark Beast, Bile, Coyote, Bat Noise, Phoenix, Bees, Amelia, Thomas, Justin, Tom, Dave, Elkie, Stardrop, Nude, Joseph, Mr. Fox, George, Boris, Kim, Rotten, Desemiotic, Jasper, Harry, Dugan, Azure, Ellie, Connor, and Emerson.